how are you all doing this week? Hope you loved last week's recipe. I sure did. And I'm so excited to be baking with you again today. Today we are going to make holiday sugar cookies. But before we get started, let's share our 3 L's for the week. Something I loved this week was I got to meet my good friend's brand new baby. Her baby was so sweet and so cuddly and so tiny. I just love new babies. Something that made me laugh this week was I saw a video on Instagram of this little brother and sister, and they were sitting there waiting for family pictures to be taken, and a big Grinch came out from behind the trees, and it just scared the daylights out of them. I think the parents thought it'd be fun. It was terrifying, but so funny for those watching. Something I learned this week was I got this new dough sheeter at the bakery I've told you guys before, and I figured out how to roll the dough on parchment. This is such a time saver. It sounds silly, but in the baking world, especially this year when we're doing thousands of gingerbread houses, it helps so much. What were your 3 L's for the week? Well, let's get baking. So we are going to start with some really soft butter. You can see it's uber soft. It's nearly melted. And we want 1 cup or 2 sticks of butter. I'm going to mix mine in my KitchenAid fitted with a paddle attachment. You're welcome to do this by hand. It's just going to take a lot of arm strength. So let's put in our 2 sticks of soft butter. And I make sure each time I scrape my butter wrappers with a rubber spatula to make sure I get all the butter off. I'm going to raise up my bowl and start mixing my butter. We're going to start creaming it. If you don't have a sugar dough cookie mix from the bakery, we're going to add in 1 cup sugar, cream that, and then we'll add in our vanilla and our almond extract, a teaspoon of each. And then we're going to add our flour, which is 3 cups, and half a teaspoon of salt and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. But if you have our baking Hive sugar cookie mix, we're just going to dump the whole mix in. Let's do half the mix, cream it, and then we'll add the rest of it. Let's pour in the rest of our sugar cookie mix and mix that on in. Now it's going to be really thick, so let's crack in 1 egg. Let's add in a teaspoon of vanilla and almond extract. If you don't have almond extract, that's totally fine. I definitely would recommend adding in a teaspoon of vanilla. If you don't have almond, add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm going to crank it up a little bit higher to help bring my cookie dough together. I know it's all done when my cookie dough comes nice and clumpy together and it starts to pull away from the KitchenAid bowl. I'm going to move all my decorating stuff aside and roll out my sugar cookies. Let's dust our countertop with a little bit of flour. I just pick up some flour in my hands and I just shake my hand like this, and you can even just flick it. Now let's take out our dough, press it down, and we're going to sprinkle a little bit more flour on top. Grab your rolling pin and let's rub a little flour on top of that as well. And now we're just going to roll it out until it's about 1/4 inch thick. If you like your cookies thinner and crispier, feel free to roll them out thinner. If you like them thick and kind of doughy, then leave them a little thicker. That looks good to my liking. Now I'm going to take my little cookie cutter. I have a fun little ornament here, and I am going to cut out some cookies. Then I'm going to place them on my cookie sheet that's lined with either parchment or aluminum foil or a reusable sheet liner like this one. I like to use a little brownie scooper or spatula to help get my cookies up off the counter. I'm just going to give them a little room, space them out just a bit. Perfect. Now I'm going to pop these in my preheated oven at 350 degrees. They're going to bake anywhere from about 5 to 8 minutes, depending on how thick you've rolled them and how big the cookie is. So I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes and then we'll check them. While my cookies finish baking, I'm going to finish rolling out the rest of my cookie dough, wash my dishes, clean my counters, and sweep the floors. So we'll have a perfectly clean kitchen to decorate our cookies in.
Okay, so that was 5 minutes on my cookies. I rolled them pretty thick, as you can see. So they're still pretty doughy. I think I'll go 2 more minutes on these for a total of 7 minutes. Okay, so that was 7 minutes, and you can see my cookies are still soft, but they're nice and set. I like my cookies kind of soft and doughy, so I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to let them cool completely, and then we'll ice and decorate once they're nice and chilled.
Now that my cookies are baked and completely cooled, let's get decorating. You can, of course, decorate your cookies however you like. You can use your buttercream and smooth it on and just put some sprinkles on. I'm going to show you a little method I call the dipping method that I think is kind of fun. I'm just going to cut the top of my sprinkles bag, pop them here. You just basically want to pour your sprinkles on a plate like this. And then your piping bags, make sure you give them a nice massage to soften them up and get them all moving so they're easier to pipe. I am going to take my white bag and I'm going to cut a little bit off the tip, just about that much. And I'm going to outline my cookie. Oops. So just like that. And now I'm just going to dip it straight down into my sprinkles. Give it a little shake. And see how cute that is? Isn't that fun? Then you can take the green, cut off the tip of the green, and you can even fill in that inside. So I'm just going to do a little zigzag. Whoops. Isn't that cute? So go ahead and decorate your cookies however you'd like. There we are. Look how darling my holiday cookies are. Hope you all enjoyed baking along with me today. Hope you have a wonderful week filled with lots of love, joy, health, and happiness. And of course, a whole lot of baking. Be thinking of your 3 L's for next week, and I'll see y'all next week. Thanks, friends. Bye-bye.